All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. So in today's live stream, we're going to talk about retirement, and I came across this article, and it's titled, what's the big title? Monty Python star reveals he's still working at 80 to pay for his lifestyle. He says, I never dreamed at this age the income streams would tail off so disastrously. So I'm not sure who this is. I'm pretty sure it looks like he's either in the TV business or maybe the night show type business. I'm not sure who he is. Actually, let me look him up really quick just so I can get educated. All right, Python. Um, so it looks like he did comedy. Monty Python were a British comedy troupe formed in 1969 consisting of Chaplin, John Terry, blah, 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 blah. So it looks like he did humor and like films and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure he has made some good money. And it looks like he has, maybe has had a lifestyle where like the money he made was not enough to keep up with his lifestyle, right? So he probably ended up making millions of dollars, but the lifestyle he led did not match up to the money that he was bringing in. So, and I think that's the problem for most people. They want to spend more than they make, and a lot of it is because of social media, right? We live in an age where social media promotes vacations, nice clothing, nice cars, and everybody wants to keep up with what everybody else is doing. So you see this a lot, and this is very common for superstars, people that are celebrities, people in sports, basketball players, football players. You know, they're really not taught about. They're given a lot of money early on, but they're not taught how to handle that money once it comes in. All right, because if you're making, let's just say you made 2 million bucks over the course of your career, you're probably gonna make more than that. But let's just say this guy was making $1 million a year at the height of his career. He probably had to pay taxes for that. Well, he had to pay taxes for that. I'm pretty sure maybe he didn't have a good accountant where maybe he could have offset some of those taxes. But let's just say he was making $1 million at the height of his career. He has to pay taxes on that, so maybe he was only getting 600,000 of that money, and right, maybe he was living above his means, right? Because if he still has to work at 80 to pay for his lifestyle, and I'm not sure what he means by work. Maybe going on the it looks like a morning show that he's on or a night show that he's on. Maybe he gets paid for those appearances. I'm pretty sure he gets paid for those appearances. He's not going to do it for free. And then maybe he goes around talking about how he blew all his money to make some money to keep up with his lifestyle at 80. I don't think I don't think anybody should retire flat out, but I definitely think people should have investments that can carry them on until they're 80. Now, whether you're doing like just little investments here or there to make some extra money, then that's fine in my opinion. But to be having to do these shows at 80, I'm pretty sure he did those shows in his 30s, his 40s, and now he has to do it because he mismanaged his money. So let's read into the article and let's see what's actually going on with this guy. All right, so it says if the team behind the Monty Python franchise had $1 for every time a college student quoted their work, they'd probably be financially set for generations. But according to one of its founding members, it'll take a lot more than that to turn a profit in an age of streaming and falling royalties. Lawsuits, alleged mismanagement from a co-founder. It says Eric Idle, one sixth of the Monty Python comedy troupe. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it was a group, and it looks like he was the star of the group. Behind films like The Holy Grail, Life of Brian, took to X in a series of posts to rail against the perception that he was a wealthy man 55 years after his group first formed. Python not paying the bills. I don't know why people always assume we're loaded. Python is a disaster. Spamalot made money 20 years ago, and I guess he's referring to like his the I don't know if it's a movie or a TV. Honestly, I have no idea, but it looks like he made some money. Right? So he says Spamalot made money 20 years ago. I have to work for my living. Not easy at this age. All right, and because obviously when you get older, it's just hard to do stuff. Even now that I'm 30, it's like I'm still young, I'm in good shape and stuff, but obviously it was a lot easier to do things in your 20s, right? And that's the same concept when you go to in your 80s, right? It's more amplified when you're in your 80s. Like I'm pretty sure he's not able to move around close to what he used to do in his 30s. So to have to take flights to make money is probably not the best thing, right? All right, so okay, so he says he has work for my living, not easy at this age. Yep, obviously. Spamalot, a musical inspired by so it's a musical type show by the Python's Holy Grail movie and penned by Idol, was a massive commercial success. When it first premiered in 2004, the first tour went on to generate 175 million in revenue for 1,500 shows. So I wonder, out of the 175 million that he got, how much did he get of that? Hopefully they talk about that. The wider Python franchise is enshrined in the British media royalty. Idol even performed Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, a song from Life of Brian, at the closing ceremony of the 2012 London Olympics. All right. The franchise popular, much of it before the new era, low margin streaming would be expected to have made all its members set for life. According to analysis from entertainment lawyer Ensor Dorner, Idol and his fellow Pythons each receive about 5.7% of the profits from their TV shows and movies, while they share 50% of the profits from any spin-offs, including Spamalot. All right, so they gave us the revenue that they made, 175, but that's not profit. All right, so let's do the math really quick. Let's just try to get an estimate of what this dude made over the course of his career. So 175. Right, so let's just say, out of that 175, let's say they profit, let's just say was 80 million profit, right? So they each receive 5.7%, right? So we'll divide the 80 million into 100. So 0.8 times 5.7. So it looks like he got around 4 to 5 million bucks out of the 175. Each member in the group got like 4 or 5 million bucks. So that's a pretty good amount of money, right? But that money could go quick. Most people, like the average person, when they hear 5 million bucks, are like, man, that's a lot of money. How did they lose it all? But the thing is, if that money's not invested and you're just using that money and you're not really putting it in a place where it's going to grow, you could go through that money quickly. Especially, it said the success of the show premiered, the start of the success started in 2004, so that was 20 years ago, right? So if he didn't invest any of that, so he got that 5 million clean, let's say, and then he had to pay taxes on that. So maybe he's only getting 3.5, right? And it looks like he was in the limelight, so if he bought a decent-sized home, that probably takes a lot of that. Did he sell that, right? Did he get cars? Did he do travel? Is he buying expensive clothing? Is he buying expensive shoes? All these things you need to consider. So that 3.5, that 4 or 5 million probably went away quickly. Right now, obviously, he probably got some money on the back end from royalties and stuff like that. But again, the money could go quickly if you don't watch it. Right. So, that's why I tell people all the time, you need to one, like focus on making money, but then also when you get it, be thinking of ways you could preserve it. It's not easy to have 50,000 in 2012 and then in 2024 have that same 50,000. Most people will be lower. It'd probably be like 10,000. So you got to really work on preserving your money. And again, these people, these celebrities that make all this money and then lose it, it's really like, they're basically making the future generation start over again. He could have did so much with that 5 million to where, the generations that come after him didn't have to do as much work. Now, I'm not saying you should just leave money to people with no direction, but when you get a chance to make that much money and you blow it all and you still have to be working through 80, it's like you just kind of wasted your life, in my opinion, because you're not helping anybody out. All right. So it says, however, it seems that hasn't been enough to appease Idol's financial woes, leading him to work at the age of 80 despite being in control of the proceeds of a portion of Python's catalog. We own everything we made in Python, and I never dreamed that this age the income streams would tail off so disastrously, which was the title of the article. Profits from royalties and residuals have dried up across the TV and movie industry since the proliferation of streaming. Okay, yeah, so people are getting less for old shows. I was watching too, Monique from The Parkers. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that TV show, but she was talking about how she only got paid right? She was getting paid 50,000 per episode. I think she did like 30 or 40 episodes. So what is that, like 4 million? 50,000. Let's just say 40 episodes. So she got paid like 2 million for that. And then they told her the same thing. It started to dry up. So she doesn't really get royalties or residuals from that. But still, $2 million is a lot of money. Maybe after taxes, maybe she only had like 1.5, 1.4. But, if I was in their position, I would just have taken all that money, put it in some type of some type of like top 5 stock at the time, or maybe some type of mutual fund or ETF, and let that money grow and then just continue to work. Because it's like, and I think she did movies too. I think she did movies. I'm not sure what she did with her money. But she's another example of this. Okay, so he's saying that the streaming and fewer people watching shows on traditional networks, purchase of DVDs, Blu-rays, and CDs plummeted. Yeah, because DVDs, Blu-rays, and CDs plummeted. I don't blame platforms like Spotify and YouTube for making copyright worthless, while he also gave the idea of Netflix documentary on the Python short shrift. Netflix. Okay, so yeah, seems like he's mad about that. But yeah, I mean, he can only blame himself. Right? You get all that money and you blow it all. Right? You can't expect to get royalties in the future. That's another thing. I guess that's like one of the main lessons too. Like you can't don't count on future money. Like money that's not there, don't count on future money or a future paycheck or a future bonus. Try to count on what you have and what's like really solid, a solid income stream that's coming in, and try to do the most with the money that you have in your bank, and don't count on things in the future, right? Unless it's like 95, 99, and even still, if it's not in the bank, I wouldn't really count on it, right? So yeah, that's the article today. I thought it was good to share this because, when I made a video on retirement, and people should it be aspiring to retire at an earlier age than the typical age, like 60, 65. In my opinion, people should strive for maybe late 40s, early 50s. I'm going to try to go way earlier than that. And when I say retire, just from like corporate or from things like this where, he has to still do work. I'm not sure what he considers work. If going to a morning show and talking about his stuff is work, then maybe he doesn't really like that stuff, or maybe he doesn't like that type of work. Or maybe it doesn't bother him. He's just saying that he has to work till today to keep up with his lifestyle. So, uh, yeah, like if you don't plan for retirement today, then you will be working until you're 80 like this guy, right? And if you come up on some money, make sure that you do the right thing with it and put that money to work and don't and just keep building on that, right? Like especially a lump sum like 4 or 5 million, he could have put at least 1.5 to whatever away and had a little bit in his bank account and continue to work. But it looks like he did something different. But yeah, that's the live stream today. Let's see if there's any comments or anybody's. Nope. Let's see. Nope. Nobody's watching. This is great. But yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to share this article. I thought it was interesting. Retirement is something that everybody should be thinking about. And make sure if you make some money, you do the right thing with it. All right. Take care.